Over the years in Rainbow Six Siege, leakers have been running riot, leaking content weeks and sometimes even months before it's supposed to be seen by the community. Time and time again, Ubisoft have said that they are against this kind of stuff, and even to this day, they still take down any leaks that they see on Twitter and stuff like that. And hey, even my channel got terminated just a few months ago for the fact that I was posting leaked content. In this video, we're going to be having a look at this ongoing war between Ubisoft and leakers over the last few years, explain why it's bad for the game, but also explain why there are some positives, as well as explaining the mysterious disappearance of Lungu 19. If you guys are unaware, one of Rainbow Six Siege's most well-known leakers, Lungu 19, suddenly disappeared from all of his social media platforms, and even in his Telegram group chat told everyone to leave before instantly deleting the group chat. Well, to answer that question, we have found out from people who are close to Lungu that he actually got a cease and desist letter. What this means is Ubisoft themselves sent out a letter to Lungu saying that if he continued leaking and posting it to his social medias, he was going to get sued by this multi-million-dollar corporation. And obviously, to stop that, he just deleted his Telegram, deleted his Twitter, and left no trace of his former identity. Now, Lungu is not the only leaker that Ubisoft have gone after. In fact, there's been so many leakers that have been forced to stop leaking in the past that there's basically not many left. Starting off then with one of Siege's other most well-known leakers, bytes. Now, this guy was really well known for leaking stuff that was really accurate. It was very rare that he'd put anything out there that was even in the slightest way misleading. Well, Ubisoft clearly didn't like that, because if you go to his Twitter account now, it's actually suspended, and if you go to his second account, Data Cluster 0, he still doesn't really post leaks anymore, and by the sounds of it, it seems like he's given up on leaking Siege content. Next up, we have Benjamin Strike, another one of Siege's more accurate leakers over the last few years. He's only tweeted once this year and has since not really talked about Siege at all. Another one that you may know from the past is a Twitter account called R6 Leaks, and the last leak they posted was October 13th of 2021, before Grim got released. Now, the reason why this Twitter account stopped leaking stuff was actually explained in the replies. He said that he is just one of a team of leakers, and one of the other leakers in his team unfortunately passed away from COVID-19, and therefore the team decided just to stop leaking. Overall, that leads us to today, where I believe there's only one leaker that I personally know of called Lythron Gaming. He is the last one standing, so if you're watching this, my friend, good luck to you. Let's hope Ubisoft don't shut you down as well. But moving on into the next segment of the video, I wanted to talk about leaks and if they're actually good or bad for the game. Starting off with the positives, I think it's actually somewhat healthy for the game to have leaks involved in it. It's very common in other video game franchises to get hyped by leaks and to basically know what is coming to the game before it does. In that time period between seasons, a lot of people playing the game are hungry to know what's coming next for the game that they're currently playing. I definitely believe this, because me personally, I get halfway through a Siege season, and when I see the leaks for the following season, it gets me hyped for that season and gives me motivation to keep playing the game. So in that regard, I do believe that leaks were somewhat healthy for the game. It kept people interested, it kept people excited for what's coming next with Siege. With that being said though, I'm going to remove my bias of being a Rainbow Six Siege leaking YouTuber by saying that I do know that there is negatives to this as well. Obviously, from a developer point of view, if you're working on a game, you don't really want your work to be leaked to the community months and months before it's supposed to be coming to the game. Now, reason number one is obviously because it removes a lot of the surprise element from that update, and when the update eventually drops, a few people in the community will already know what's coming and they won't really be that hyped for it. However, I feel like the bigger issue from a developer point of view is the fact that it then puts pressure on the developers, as they're receiving opinions from the community that they weren't really asking for before the operator or the gadget isn't even finished with its design. For example, let's say you work at Ubisoft and you're designing an operator that uses a grenade launcher that explodes on impact. If you get a lot of feedback from the community saying, oh, it's too similar to Zofia, oh, it's just going to be a better Ash, then before you've even finished that development cycle for that character and for that operator gadget, they've already been completely written off by a small chunk of the community. The main issue with leaks is kind kind of what happened last year with Rainbow Six Siege. We basically got the full year worth of content leaked to us in Year 7 Season 1. So while Azami was the newest operator in the game, we already knew about Sense, we knew what his gadget was going to do, and then on top of that, we also got a very first look at what Grim looked like, what his launcher was going to do, and that was literally 2 seasons away, and we already had images and basically knew exactly what his gadget was going to do. Now that is what I feel like is the biggest problem for the game. When stuff is leaked so far in advance, it really does kill the hype for the game. I think if stuff's leaked a few weeks in advance, then it's not that big of an issue, and I think it does do its job in hyping up the community. But when it's been out and leaked for literally like 6 months before it comes to the game, by the time it comes to the game, you're not even that excited for it, and when it does come, it feels very underwhelming. You feel like the season's gonna be a flop, and then within a few weeks of that season dropping, you get bored of the stuff that has been added because it doesn't even feel new. Now I want to hear from you guys, so scroll down in the comment section below and let me know if you think leaks are a good or bad thing for the game. Do you think when content gets leaked a few weeks in advance that it's going to be good for the game and hyping up the community, or do you think it ruins the surprise? With that being said, guys, it has been it for the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, click the video on screen, and I'll see you in the next one.